Hey guys, it's Tarkin. Welcome back to Total War 3 Kingdoms 190 Expanded. We're beta testing again today, and by that I mean poking around and looking at things, because I'm a curious little guy. Here's Zhang Jin. Probably saying his name wrong, don't focus on it. He is an obstinate sorcerer. On the map, of course, as we know, he starts over here in a pretty awesome neighborhood next to Dongtuna and Duosi and Shamoka, and then like some guys over here that probably won't kill him immediately. So he Chi has gained from battles his faction resource and lost to non-Han foes. Gained from battles won and lost to non-Han foes. Okay. Spend Chi on the needle path to unlock permanent blessings, forbidden points to grant Chi at the price of lasting afflictions. Taoist rites, assignments, and captive rituals channel more Chi. So the unique mechanic, there's a chart of 32 points to open blessed meridians for permanent boons or pierce forbidden points for Chi at the cost of lasting afflictions. So I guess you can generate your resource at the cost of harming your own stuff. Come here, for not testing it promoted to hard. We're playing on normal in the rebalance. You'll see a very human performance. Taoist rites, so we got assignments to perform rites and channel the healing breath, steady Chi income, or spend Chi to mend your garrisons. So, you know, interesting enough. You don't often need to mend up a garrison immediately, but the times when you would want it, it's good to have access to. Captive rituals, post-battle actions after victory, sacrifice, induct, or bless captives. Every choice draws Chi toward the governor altars. We start with Panjun, the Pillar of Integrity, Shangguan, Ingenious Statesman, and Jinshun. And all of these guys, from memory, have like really quite good personalities and like good traits for being like around things. Faction-wide snipe, all right. Faction-wide snipe is going to be the hotness here because we're in a very forested neighborhood, and being able to just throw in your guys with a little bit of support and some trees, they're like, oh man, who's shooting me? Oh, it's going to be good. Or I'll die on turn 3. It's hard to say. And then maximum cover is required. He is greedy, resourceful, and superstitious. China must be united. We're playing on normal, and you know, we're going to do our very best. How to get stock. I think mainly it would be hide and forest is your principal method of doing it. And we're pretty far from anywhere that's not forested on the map. And then, you know, like when you're in... But, so, how to get stuck. You know, if it's not a Bandit Sentinel or Cao or, you know, for all we know, right? For all we know, there could be something to spend the points on to get some stock, you know. We'll see. We are, after all, like a sorcerer faction. It would not be surprising and would be gratifying to see some cool stuff in here. I imagine we'll see at least one thing that I'll be like, woo! Because the starting position is fascinating, right? Like, what if you wanted to fight the Nanman forever? Never thought of forced rage movements to fix very well. Yeah, I think it's mainly just that because snipe is functionally to the AI, I don't know where I'm getting shot from. You just put yourself into a situation where, you know, you've got way more interesting deployments abstractly, right? If you have a forest way behind you, you can just put like a green thing in there and then, you know, a couple of archers, and then when they come to flank your advancing force, you're already shooting their yellow cav in the back type of thing. Alright, so we start with Tool Forge. Alright, what are our units? What are our resources? We do not start with our special units. We are bandits. No, we have mending. We have mending from the armor. We are not bandits. Alright, the needle path of acupuncture. Alright, so... Alright, let's just go at them. Alright, ammunition. You could do for 60. Right now, we have, you know, we're decaying 2 a turn. We have 25, but we'll just look at them right now. Do you have special units? I don't remember. I would assume probably... But I'm not seeing him in our starting retinue, which is a little surprising. But let us Well, we need to, we've got captain retinues. That's sort of like a special unit. Yeah, we'll, I think I turned everything on that I was supposed to turn on. Yeah, I think so. Anyway. Here, we actually get a very easy auto to start, you know. Normally, even, like, you'd be nervous about an auto, but here with the captain retinue, it's, you know, we get a little beat up there. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing a fight before too long. Yeah, but, we'll figure it out. All right, yeah. So, bam, you know, you come in here, and then you get your big faction support buff to start off. You get your what I would call your typical Han things, your suite of beginning things. You know, you take your logical expansion route, and then you get your chance to make a difference in the world. All right, let's just check out. All right, the court. We are married to Shintu Xiong, and then Zhang Li is 14 years old. So I love that, right? I love a faction heir that comes of age very quickly. That way you don't have to displace them. Apparently she is the second daughter, but I guess we like her better. The first daughter is very fast. The wife has 30% of ambushing if she's the prime minister figure. Charge negate native on the green guy. Ojing, unruly faction wide and melee damage faction wide if you promote him to a high position. Shinjuan, who's just an excellent commandery guy, you know, makes everybody happy that's there. You put people on assignment there, and then, you know, they're pleased. Liao gets charge bonus. We get a little, a Buddhist ambassador. And then Hanjun gives you the negative corruption faction-wide, which is like multiplicative now, not like additive and subtractive. Or now, maybe it has been for ages, but that is how it is. Now, and we start with a sage and an archer and a farm manager. All of these are very good indeed. Alright, who do we want to level up here? We already got one red guy. A strategist seems smart. We can't do it yet. We don't have a major. It's always been don't know why I thought it wasn't. Alright, so here we just need to recruit somebody, question mark. Well, we've got to make a pickup, right? Alright, just abstractly, what's going on in our neighborhood? We could try to hold it against Shimoka. I don't really believe in our chances to do that. Although the game is balanced somewhat differently, Shimoka is still Shimoka, right? The axe gets a much slower attack rate now. It's like it's a huge damage thing, but yeah. I guess we go with... yeah, the Noble Glaive. I only just realized that the generals are significantly slower. I think the cav is 2. Yeah, so that's like a lessening of impact too. Sorry to point that on who got shot to death by horse and who had 2 elbows. Alas, Santu, you know, she's a hero. Alright, we just need to keep playing. We have to, you know, live on for her. This guy's got charge negate in his own retinue anyway. What's that? we want. I mean, I feel like a champion's appropriate for this army. I'm trying to get this dude to level 2 anyway. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then we've got, you know, 3 militia, 4 there, so we can, yeah, just hit the, one of them. It's so pricey. Well, if we wait a couple of turns, then we'll get the faction support. Oh, you know, redeployment probably doesn't apply there, does it? Aha, there you go. Yeah, because it's recruitment cost. I'm not sure how it works, actually. But I bet the faction support thing doesn't apply to it. Maybe it does. Alright, so, got distracted. Alright, so we can... Alright, so you can just hit this, you pay 40, and then you get... No, we could do this now. Okay, we could hurt 3 satisfaction forever, get 40 right now, and 1 a turn. Boom! Acupuncturist. Alright, so that's good stuff there. -3 satisfaction, we can tank that. We also started with a Confucian Sage, which helps. Do you need to be braced for charge negate? Yes, always. And then we can just get, you know, there's 8 melee damage for 60 chi, there's 5% AP damage for 30, 5 armor for 30. You can do a -6% income to get you 60 chi and 2 per turn. No, and -2 per... No, +2 per turn, yeah. So, I believe it's true for it. But I think probably... You know, the move is to take a lot of these very early, right? All the stuff you don't care about. Obviously not the replenishment one. So, like, corruption, that's not going to be a problem. What do we care, you know? Yeah, so the bad ones immediately pay off, and then they're bad forever. But, you know, like, this income one, I think maybe... Okay, let's see. Did we get a bug there? Let's try to recreate this. I think what happened was... No, I just don't think we purchased this one. Okay, that's all good. So we can... You can get... Yeah, at the very beginning of this, the play is basically always going to be to figure out what you want to sacrifice because the payoff's good. Okay, so like right here, this is kind of a bit funny, right? You can do this one to get 40 and 1 per turn at the cost of 3 satisfaction. And then we go here, and you can immediately purchase 4 satisfaction for 30. So, I mean, that's just good business. You know, that's just good business. All right, let's keep looking at the other stuff. 10% AP for 60. I love this. I love faction-wide bonuses. I think probably the cost of this one needs to be adjusted maybe to like 50. Just because this one pays off immediately and per turn, and this is just objectively correct to do. And it's fine for that to exist, but I just think if this one gives you 40 and 1 per turn, this one should cost like maybe 50, so at least you don't immediately pay for it, even if it'll only take a couple of years for it to be the right thing to do, right? But I feel like that would be a thing to consider. But, you know, again, there's nothing wrong with having an objectively correct thing to do. And then character experience. We can lower character experience for stuff. See, I would be loath to do that, but later on, there's plenty of ways to get more character experience. And then we can get negative morale for some, you know, I could never do that early, but when you can afford it, There's probably one for positive morale somewhere. Ooh. Okay, so. All right, here we go. Here we go. You pay the corruption one and the satisfaction one, and then you can get 15% replenishment. I know we're jumping to the other side of the tree. 15%. That is very attractive. That is enough to let you play like me and still have an army at the end of the day. Very nice stuff. Yeah, gigantic. With regular faction support and that, you're looking at 2 turns to fully replenish after any win or loss. So you don't lose more than 40 or 50% of your troops, you know. And yeah, and of course, when mustering with that, you're looking at 2 turns to be in absolute fighting shape and then 3 to be totally there right out of the gate, which, when you're dealing with Nanman on your door, pretty good. Pretty good. It's gigantic. Oh, we can get 8% off all upkeep from this one. That's pretty nice. 10k population growth. Nice. Love it. 5% speed. And then you get morale. All right, so we can... See, here, this is a better one, right? I like this dynamic better. Here, this payoff for the morale one is higher, and the morale malice is more. Here, the counteraction is cheaper, but the morale magnitude is lower than the negative you get. So maybe, you know, you could do just +2 satisfaction here, although at that point, you know, it's sort of a small number, but some of the values are a bit low. Yeah. I was just taking a look. I am... This sort of faction mechanic is absolutely right up my alley. I love stacking stuff together. Very cool. Sea of Blood for mustering turns. You can lower your campaign movement range. I bet I'll never take that. Even when I don't need movement range, I believe I need it. Lower recruitment cost. Yeah. Yeah, there, and then you can get lower speed or higher speed. Yeah, so here's another example, like the satisfaction one, where the points probably want to get tweaked, right? Because this one, you lose the speed and you generate 40. Here, you can counteract that by 30, so you're +10 and +1 a turn. So sort of like the satisfaction win screen with Hall of Impression, where you can immediately counteract it and be ahead and be generating your passive income there. And then you can... Yeah, so this dynamic here with the Jawbone and Chapter Gate, this is, you get -5% food production and you get your points. And then over here, it costs more. It would take you, you get 40 here in 1 turn. So, 4 years of points from that. And then you'd be able to afford from that the counteraction that would, make it a... 5% more, so that's pretty cool. There's 5, yeah. It's like, yeah, that sort of thing, yeah. And because, or like the morale one, -3 to 2, but yeah. And then we've got a public order one and a public order one. So here, yeah, this is a good dynamic where you get, this sort of morale thing, you get lower public order 3? You get 90 chi at once and 3 per turn for 4 public order. How bad could 4 public order be? Because you pay that one, you get 90 and a +3, and then you can spend the points on the 3 here. You net 3 a turn and 30 points. But really, we're just doing this to see that the stuff works. I remember what I'm doing here. Did the -1 not go on? We'll see next turn if they register. Maybe... We'll see next turn if they register. Something I take to get... Yeah, that's what I was thinking it might be. We gotta take a look. But this is, you know, because this is a rough neighborhood to be in. But with being able to kick up your replenishment into super high gear early, and of course, well, I mean, I guess it's just that there's Nanman around, and if you're willing to abandon your starting provinces, which I think abstractly you probably should be, right? You're not paying anything for them in a real sense. And if you go over and, but I mean, then you're neighbors with the Sun family, who, while fine horseback riders and stunning calligraphists, are not particularly polite neighbors. Okay, so the things go up here. Let's see, make sure that we find the effects here. All right, so now they say they're going on. Resource once you find the enemy. Oh yeah, speaking of the resource, so you get decay for, you know, the level of it you're at. The more you go, okay, there's nothing except the points. Got it. The higher points you have, the more you're going to lose passively, so you just need to spend them. No, I never did take that replen. The thing that I said, you have to take it every time, it's so good. It is good. Alright. What's the next move? I guess move on to... Again, if we move to the Han here, we have a logical expansion route through this guy who's like our brother or friend or something. They always get along. No, I think maybe there's no relation. It is classic. Well, their last name is Zhang, isn't it? Well, last name, you know what I mean. They must know each other. Just a little joke. We like to have fun here. Of course, as I recall, it is the most common clan name in the period, although that may not be true. All right, with the replen bonus now, we're doesn't even take. Well, you know, we might as well try, right? Why don't we try? If we lose, you know, we'll lose with honor and passion and all that. Here, I figure we go ahead and yes, got our faction support here, so we'll get like some spear warriors and, you know, couple of axes for the shields guys, maybe. Okay, yeah, I'm like the unavailable units there, so there'd be a lot of unavailable units to look through, but no, I don't see any faction-specific units for him. But, I mean, they all get pretty special once you kick everything on. What we want to do now? What do we want to do? We want to... Yeah, we just want to spend our points. We don't want them to run away from us. And, alright, so minor assignments, I'm like, those probably won't generate. Oh yeah, speaking of, I'm like, I can do that thing I never do and try to... Oh yeah, she's great at it. She can espy right here. But no, I've never fought Nanman in the rebalance. Obviously, I've only played a very small amount of battles with it. And they were all so rough. I'll eventually learn. And maybe one day I'll think Lu Bu is good at fighting again. Instead of just... I had him on the battlefield and I'm just like dissing him the whole time. Jufu gets eliminated. Zhonglu declares war on Dongzhuo. And the classic folks have all shown up. Do I even know Cao Cao? No, I guess she's just unhappy there. No, I do know Cao Cao. That old dog. How have I met him? Why would you let me know him? Is it the river? Is it because I've seen the river? Why would I know him? Is it because we're both at war with the Han?
向世人宣告我军大业。
I'm like, because he's at war with the Han, but he wouldn't get visibility all with it. Did he have like a trade agreement that gets broken turn one so that he like has visibility on all of this? That would be funny. No, that doesn't make sense because that would only happen if he declared. It would be funny though. All right, supplies getting a little wonky. It's winter, but we know that winter is fine down south here. But no, as it stands here, you know, wherever the values tweak around, as long as we still get a nice replenishment bonus early, I think this faction will be great fun to play because it gives you enough power out of that screen that you're generating with your resource to where it doesn't feel pointless to fight the Nanman. Even if you're not making any headway, right, you're still generating a whole bunch of really cool bonuses and getting super strong because anytime you're in a holding pattern in a Total War game, right, you need to feel like your faction's getting something out of it. Well, you don't need to. You could just be losing. That's okay, too. It's unlikely to happen if you're playing in the same game state for a while, right? You know, maybe you're out-teching them. Maybe you're leveling up some heroes, you know. Maybe you have to go to the source of the Yellow River to break a curse. Whatever the reason is, you know, there's got to be some benefit. Did he disband himself? No, we just zoomed out weird. Good question, though.
开战！
Yeah, it's like in all the other ones. If they couldn't do the spying with no chance to get caught, that's how you can talk. Maybe, I'm like, maybe Dongtuna will hit Duosi,
该好好谈谈。
and then I'll be able to roll him up afterward. Start with the commerce thing. I'm like, the construction time, we need that one first. Commerce side isn't that appealing. I think we just take the food for the eventual major. You know, the food one doesn't lead anywhere, but I basically never feel like that 4 food early is bad. It's worth, you know, a level 3 building with no strings on it, you know, so, and that takes a little while to get done. I just feel like being able to spend that time on leveling up your city center and not on the food production is pretty valuable. But I might be wrong. Might be wrong. I've been wrong before. No one can prove it. Everyone who's ever seen me be wrong And he took a sailboat trip. But theoretically, I could be wrong. There would be no way to know. Zhang Jin dies in a hail of arrows. Yuan Shao confederates Han Fu and gets a bunch of awesome dudes on his side. Oh, speaking of, like, oh, everybody loves me. Why was I worried about Cao Cao? Oh, the further away we are, the less the diplomatic marriage appeals to them.
朋友，欢迎。
Like, who else likes me?
欢迎，朋友。
To me, starting with the possibility of a diplomatic marriage to people is like the most fun you can have.
能跟我说上话，算你走运。
Although we're so far away. Even though they like us, you know, they don't want to do it. But if we got... So if we were to do this trade... Yeah. It's just that, you know, Taoism, right? They never shed the whole... Y'all are a bunch of turbans. I forget. I'm like, it could be... it could be a lot of different people. I was just reading it the other day. I'm like... There's somebody who shows up, and then whoever's there was like, "Don't listen to him, no!" But I don't remember which Yellow Turban it was, or who was mad at him. It could have been Liu Bei going through the province there, and the people coming up to try to join up with them. Maybe that was it. Could have even involved people whose names I actually know. Can't say them right, but actually know. Lady Wu declares war on Liu Biao. Good. He knows what he did. And now we are going to have big fight against... Well, you know, the thing is that Nanman doesn't have cavalry. And maybe we can make it work. He's just got some axes, and maybe we can make it work. After all, if you can't win the first battle of the campaign, you might be me. We won't have like any conversation at all. Between chapters 25 and 35, probably. The good news is, with the upgrade, the retinue is still wonky there. Bad news is, well, we're going to have to find a way to get in here. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Now, the Nanman units, though, they don't seem like they're amazing at fighting. They do have a bonus versus infantry, though. That's not nothing. Because that counteracts evasion. And we just got Saber Militia mostly. So it's not like our units are good at fighting either. And our spears, you know, this might be a little spear heavy actually against Nanman, because if they don't have elephants, they don't have cav besides the generals. But we'll see how it goes. This also could just be a situation where, you know, if we took the replen buff turn 1 and recruited the dude and then immediately moved up, because I think we waited a turn, but... Also, taking the neighboring Han settlement, no, we need to take that one, right? That's got to be, because that's what gives you your path to glory stuff. Yes, but how do we get inside? We run up the hill. Oh yeah, it's this one. Oh no, it's this one. And I don't know if these internal towers have always been there, but this place is awesome. I wish I could defend here. Oh, we're about to see a real human performance, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are going to... Well, you know, only thing to do is jump over the moon, right? So do we load into 1 point, fight there, and lose? Or try to flank somehow, but not with, like, the full force? I pretty sure we're going to get a game over here. I probably shouldn't even be testing with the battle rework because I'm so incompetent. Like, I'm unlikely to be able to play very far. From the Stallion, well, maybe they'll do that. Nope. Alright. Well, once more into the breach. It just feels like we're gonna walk up and lose, but I'm so dumb I literally don't know what to do. So we're just gonna walk up and shoot him and then lose the game? Probably. I mean, he's got Mending and Roar. Maybe with Mending and Roar we can get something out of it. They're so slow. 62. 54? He must have some stat where he gets tired. Or, like, has lower speed. 54. But, you know, you never know. It might be fine. After all, they don't really have anything besides poison and poison and poison. You know, what do they have that can deal with this? Sure, all we have is some archers that are the worst things in the world, but what do they have that can deal with this? Maybe I should have found a strategist that had fire arrows if we had them. Don't really need a champion. We're fighting Nanman. Not really fighting them. We are running at 19 speed up the hill. Amazing. Oh, with no charge bonus at all. Yeah, great. Good stuff. We're so loose in this. But I guess we're just gonna get off of our mounts here so we don't lose them. And so the big bonus versus cavalry guys don't turn on. You know, you never know. It might work. Maybe this blob fight will just work. You know, actually, it might just work, right? After all, they can't poison us but the one time. Oh, hamstring immobilizes now. That is lovely. You know, I think maybe we can do it. It just, you know, at some point all of our guys might run. That happens sometimes, but I think actually with Josie going down and then, oh yeah, there you go. We did it. One big blob fight later. Oh yeah, we moved those guys over there. That's smart. We moved those guys all the way over there. Well, you know, maybe it's keeping these fellows distracted, so there's that. Alright, who's running here? The Axe Band, they're the Axe Band. But here we can escort the man away. And I think, actually, so the Nanman here, they don't really have much that's super good against our generals on foot. I think a Vanguard on foot with a glaive is actually exactly what the Doctor ordered here. They don't have a lot of armor, so yeah, just big amounts of regular damage, and that's how to deal. And of course, since all of this stuff is poison, and they can only poison you once, the you know, all of these blow darts, all of the other things, you know, not as bad of a time. We do want to get the slinging folk, though. They are... Oh, see, yeah, okay. Hey, we win, you know, getting on foot. The superior forces of, you know, the infantry of the Han, known for their amazing infantry by someone theoretically sometime it could happen. We could be described that way. I mean, it wouldn't happen. We're just gonna keep on the escort there, and nobody knows where he's going. But we're eating a downhill here. This is such a good place to be from and such a bad place to invade, but fortunately, with the big guy getting knocked out, and he'll leave the battlefield soon enough, we're just taking him the whole way away. We don't want him coming back. And when that does happen, you know, we should get a bit of a hit there. We probably should have saved the roar for it, but from right here, we're not getting the internal tower hits, so at least there's that. Man, Nanman Hill Fort's pretty good. And importantly, like, fighting the Nanman all campaign, people are going to be, like, so stoked on us. Like, everybody is going to love us, even though we're a wizard, sorcerer, whatever. But we might be losing. It's hard to say. Maybe the strategy of running in is finally over. Yeah, you know, I think we're gonna get army lost. I think all of our dudes are over it. I don't know why. Oh, they've just lost too much hit points, I guess. Yeah, I mean, they are half dead. Half of a unit's about as much as you can get out of an early game thing. I don't know why. We just keep sending them up into this blender where we have literally no hope of doing anything right. But you know, they're not so happy themselves. Maybe we'll get it done. If we just charge everybody into the center, eventually we have to win. And if not, there's nothing anybody could have done differently. But I think actually here, you know, either everybody's going to run away and we're going to army loss, or, you know, the opposite will happen to them, you know, one or the other. This is a terrible engagement. I literally don't know what else to do, though, so it's what we're doing. Miasma isn't active in the settlement battles. I don't think it's not active here anyway. The good news is that there's not anything to really beat down our generals here. The bad news is we might still army loss anyway. But I think the spears are mostly gone, and I think the melee cavalry are either going to make a difference here, or we'll barely be able to tell they're here. But we might be winning. I think this roar might make some of them run, and then some of the other ones might run. It's hard to say. But we might get a nice chain route here. Looks like we are. You know, for all that I don't know how to play the game anymore at all, this is obviously a better battle system, right? I mean, there's something to be said for the old way, too. This is sort of like probably like a pretty happy medium between Records mode, which I never played and probably never will, and Romance mode, where you can, after all, get 1,400 kills, which your arm would get tired, right? Like, think about the tiredness of the arm here. That's the realism that matters. But now they're all back again, because they weren't really afraid, they just roared. Is Mending not capped? Oh, Mending is not capped. Awesome. Just a little heal now, but, you know, you can do it as many times as you want. Love it. And I think Hamstring actually had Yeah, hamstring actually has a very wide swing there. Pretty solid ability there. He'll hit this roar here, and everybody will charge in, and everybody else will run away. Boom, 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 boom. Speed and charge is gone because of suppressive fire. There's poison and then suppressive fire. Suppressive fire comes from the hidden vipers, maybe, or yeah, but from something. Looks like it's from the slingers, which is just so good to get from them, right? And these guys, like, they want no more of it. But yeah, of course, not getting any charge bonus makes it pretty rough. The Cav are still good at fighting people, but I think we're losing here. We just need to get unbreakable. But we don't have unbreakable. We're gonna army loss. No, we're probably gonna army loss. It's hard to say. I probably should stop running all of my, maybe if we... Yeah, let's get every unit out, and in this grounded version of the game, only fight with our generals because our units are terrible. And now it's full circle, baby. It's full circle. Now none of our units are good, and only the generals are good. How's that for a battle rework? Nope. And then he runs away, even though he's got 13k HP. But, he gets totally surrounded. Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, clearly we don't deserve to run China. We can't even win one battle. Maybe I should play on easy. Is there a very easy setting? Is there a actual child setting for, like, that you could put, like, your 4-year-old nephew in front of it and he could win? Because I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Yeah, the Nanman get miasma, but only when they're in the forest sections of the map, which are very small. I think is what we saw there. Yeah, this guy's... Yeah, because it's only if in forest. Yeah. But with a nice hamstring there, yeah, I think that is actually the answer. Heroes are good again. You just got to be more careful, and also never ever do a siege. I think the key to this rework is to never do a siege yourself. You just gotta, like, besiege them and make them die to attrition, or bring 2 armies. How does anybody play this mod on hard? Heroes on foot? Yeah, if they weren't on foot, then they would get murdered by the spears, who have like 50 bonus versus cavalry, right? And we weren't going to get any speed or charge bonus because we had suppressing fire constantly. So getting back onto the horseback was a non-functional plan. And there's towers like right there. We cannot follow up there. And now we're getting rocking a hard placed here. Classic caught between two skirmisher behavior, right? So now we're just going to get picked apart. Turns our backs to the poison darts because the poison's going to hit us anyway, right? So you might as well turn your face towards the slingers. Who... There, the infantry captain runs away. But an awesome hamstring later. And you know, the clutch mendings, and then we'll hit a roar here and this whole blob will run. But I don't think that'll be enough. It might be though. Fortunately, we'll get 15% replenishment, although I literally can't imagine beating any army ever. Maybe, you know, I should play on easy. I should just be playing on easy, I guess. Like, I think it's pretty clear I'm not good enough to play on normal. Finally get a dive while we're not suppressed on somebody. Hooray! Oh, and then these guys are slightly out of the way, so... Oh, my guy's ranged too far around there, but that's alright. Alright, and they're shattered off now. And the cavalry are like, no, I'm good now. Like, the only time in the whole game when things were actually doing, like, well for them, and they're like, no, I'm alright. I don't want to do that anymore. If we go in there, I fear that these towers just kill us. So I think we lose. I mean, we could run. No, that's not true. We don't just lose. We are going to be able to. All right, time to fast forward, boys. Get out of that tower's sight. Oh my god, I hate everything. So we have mending, so we're just going to mend up for like 10 minutes, and then. Okay, there we go. So if we just mend up for like 10 minutes. Run away here. Yeah, because we can get to full health and then fight here. So we'll just, you know, we'll, there we go. The key is Warhammer style healing. That's how to be successful. Of course, it takes 20 minutes rather than 45 seconds like in Warhammer, but that's okay. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, now it's time to get back on horseback. Two hours later. We've got 15 minutes to win. That's plenty of time. I'm so bad at this game. Look at the bones. Shocking. Alright. I don't actually know if they have any spears, so we want to avoid running into something that's going to give us bonus for some million against our crew, but I think they just have like a unit or two left. Our guys on horseback are probably not going to be much better at running them down than they were when they were on foot, of course. And they also, like, can't really take a point from memory, so I don't really think we should be here. Yeah, I think this is a bad idea. Yeah, because it takes like a year, like an actual year for you to take the point with generals, but I guess there's nothing for it. 2 hours later. It's a good change, though, because sniping these things with a hero that runs by is, like, not that good of a gameplay style. Crucially, though, Zhang Jin does have mending and always will. So that puts you into a position where, oh, we found him. We win! Yeesh. That's every bit as hard-fought a victory as one I've ever had, and not, like, in a good way. No, I don't mean to criticize the victory here. It's just... I never felt proud of myself the whole time, right? I never felt like I was doing anything good. Hey, you're 51. You're 43. I would love for both of you to work for me, whether or not the whole world hates me for it. In my opinion, Nanman generals are the best. Oh, you can vassalize them? You could vassalize them. Obviously, we need this major, but, yeah. That is awesome, and I need to learn to play so I can play this faction. Yeah, we need to learn, exactly. Oh, and then we... get even more replenishment? No, we're fine on the replen. None of these matter to us. We'll take the public order and just juice it up super high. It's fine. And we've got some nice Nanman lands here now. Okay, so our unique assignments. Bet. All right. Perform Taoist rites plus 3 cheat. You just get an assignment to generate, which is so good, right? You get a few majors, you're just doing your rites, you're generating, and then this assignment is -2 chi a turn for 10% replenishment and so this is amazing, right? Because that -2, now that we're seeing how you can generate a decent amount from your points there, you could just pump in here, and then, that's gigantic replen, own armies and local commandery. I thought it was for, like, garrisons or something. But yeah, very, very good stuff. So, just from faction effects, you could have 25 as soon as you get something on top of it, which is, end game sort of replen. We're just going to not do that one, though, and bank the points. Bank the points, spend the points on Alright, so we don't need G Militia, but everything else we have is bad too. We'll just cut him because we need a slight income. That's a problem with where we're at, right? We're not making any money at all. This Captain Renew is costing us like 1,000. So I guess, you know, you're not at war. You do that. You drop it. Oh, I guess the Captain Retinue is like a one-time thing. It doesn't appear that we can get another one. Well, you know, there you go. And no one even cares that we are accepting their tribesmen, because like Nanman heroes are like the coolest thing, right? Because you've got your goals, so you just want to fight for the longest time, and now we've got them. We've got a couple guys. This guy's 40. She's 51. But, you know, we'll hold on to her. We probably want to get him into a place, right? Just to get him started. See how it's ticking. He's got the Rainy Strike. Pretty big splash damage for 3.4. Maybe 3.4 seems a lot bigger than most of the magnitudes. Maybe it's one of those single target ones. Like, I don't actually think we want to build stuff in either of these places. It's going to get removed as all the general gets used. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That answers the question of if there are units that I wasn't seeing. Good deal. Is Liu Biao's cooperation always going to say that you don't give him money even though you do? Because I definitely fell into that trap. My first Zhang campaign that kicked off, it was vanilla in 200 start date, right? And it was a magnificent thing. I didn't know what I was doing. I got into so much trouble. I ended up migrating to Shuofeng, and for like 30 years, I only had like that major settlement there, and I didn't even get it for, you know, like a very long time. I went all the way through like Jing and then through Shu, and like eventually ended up there, and then eventually, you know, ran everything in China. But I at one point became Liu Biao's vassal because I didn't know what cooperate meant, and then I couldn't figure out how to break it, so I just had to stay his vassal, like in his lands forever. Zhu Liu. It's all grown up. What's she like? She is a peace-loving student. What? Teaching assignment? 25% character experience when present on top of it? Amazing. Zhu Liu desires only a simple life surrounded by tomes and scrolls far away from the worries of the world. My girl, you're just like me. You're resourceful, modest, and pacifist. You're not just like me. I'm terribly vain, of course. You don't wear a mustache like this if you don't want people to notice you. No, really, it's a disguise. I can't wait till I get my glasses to complete it. Peace-loving student. Very good indeed. Very good. And now it's time to never use you in battle ever, because teaching assignment is much more important than that could ever be. Oh, and this cat's got Agri development. Bomb. You know, we're gonna be making food. We need to get something out of it. No, no, we'll just do what we always do. Get even more food. No. Tech first. There's no income to boost here.
正气如火，熊熊不息。
10 from local characters. Not sure. Anyway. Getting a little bit there. Of course, the good news is I feel like I can defend this Nanman thing against many foes. Because if you just take the hilltop, you know, well, you try to break them in front of a lot of stuff if you had like a real garrison. But other than that, you take the hilltop and then you've got like all of your towers working down on them. They got the downhill slants and all. A trade agreement? Don't mind if I do.
任务完成。
Whispers of the Needlemaster. 5 meridians open and the commandery is noticed. Farmers who once queued for the physician now queue for their governor. They bring their sick, their grain, and their sons. This is probably just a flavor text thing, but I'm not sure. Because you get that when you have a major and then you have 5 of these in, but I didn't know if it's supposed to, or maybe it, oh, you can, wow, look at that. They got little buttons. They got little buttons. Amazing. But no, I really think I'd enjoy this campaign. All I would have to do is learn to play, right? That's all I would have to do. Because 2, if you start out over here and you want to go and bash the Sun family, assuming you know how to play, then you can inherit all the children and have a great time. Where did the money come from? Where did all that money come from? Oh, we dropped the retinue, I remember now. I'm like 1,400 a turn, I was making nothing. There we go. So this commandery is the T in the trade. Yeah, this one's awkward, right? But if you hold the major, this is like, if you only have the major here, this is like the way in, right? It's very awkward to get around. They could take the port here and walk up this way. But in general, like, this could be like a good sort of like outpost commandery too. You know, you set this up, and this is like your fortress against the Mon here, and then you just roll in this way and be a menace to everybody else. Oh, wow, we're having severe satisfaction issues, aren't we? Alright, time to fire people. -5 cover cost for enemy spies who are court nobles, faction-wide. A very specific effect. So we just need Dongtuna to, like, go away, right? I mean, from home, not, like, forever. But we don't even have the army big enough to hit him. Well, maybe he'll fix that problem. All right, well, you know, time to see if we can defend the place that I said we could maybe defend. Well, you know, we've got basically nothing here. But on the upside, we do have towers. Here, the dynamic of having cavalry is much better because we can actually get around outside and bash on them and stuff. But we don't have... We've got 2 regular archers. They could do work. Oh, we've even got annoying little barricades. But we can't move through them, but... Oh, it's, So one there, and then they'll have to funnel this way. Oh yeah, look at this, you can just... Problem, of course, is that we're probably going to get distracted and killed. No, we could just seed one of the sides. Yeah, seed one of the sides entirely. Focus on this one, and then the internal defense. So they come in here, and then they have to go up this route, which doesn't get in here, which just leads to here. So they can stop them there, and then we can just ignore them. Yeah, because that funnels them quite well. And then we'll focus everything over here, where the bulk of the retinues are. This one will take their sweet time getting up here. He's got the Southern Wrath. He's got the Rending Strike. So big damage. But of course, we also... And this person's got blow for blow. Yeesh. We've got our mending, right? So what we're going to try to do is get the heroes out as soon as possible. Because the thing about our troops is they're not, like, very missile resistant. Run away! Oh yeah, that's right. These are non-functional plans against the Nanman, I just recalled. I'm like, oh right, they have suppressing fire on the slingers. We're going to get caught out here. We might be able to get away with our lives. Down to 20 speed on our horses. I remember too late how the non work. Anyway, super rough stuff, right? And with them tanking your charge bonus, you know, the thing that you have against them basically isn't there anymore. But on the upside, we've got archers. All right, back to being on foot, boys. Being on horseback, silly. But we've got the Lord of Tuna here, and he's taken care of. We just need to get on to the next one. They are still laboriously moving around. Like, if he goes this way... Yeah, we meet him there, yeah. So, pretty solid to defend. And then here, of course, though, we're about to lose everything on the front, and we can't actually do anything efficient with these cavalry at all. The cavalry are functionally useless against the Nanman as long as they have slingers. But if we fight in front of the tower, at least that'll be something. Because normally it's like, alright, cavalry, that's what we'll use against the Nanman, but the slingers make it literally not work, you know. You lose your whole charge bonus, you lose 50% speed, you go from being cavalry to being crummy guys who look like they're riding horses, but are actually just the worst infantry unit you've ever seen. But yeah, so we're just gonna stand here and maybe lose. But I think we'll win the blob fight here. Yeah, because our archers will eventually just churn down on the slinging folk there. Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. We've got our boys rolling out. And these people are getting here much too late, right? And these are going to run around this side, which again can't get up anyway. There, the barricades doing their work most beautifully. Well, you know, looking like it's going to be a successful defense, but man, I don't know how to play against the Nanman at all, right? Because the cavalry are non-functional. The only time the cavalry will work is if you can get on the slingers without being shot by slingers at all. When's that gonna happen, right? It doesn't seem like it can. So, you know, you gotta engage them honestly. And they have 150 range and so much ammo, so it's not like you can just wait them out. They're gonna suppress you for 10 minutes. But, I mean, you know, I guess the faction needed something to make them pretty good, and that's what they have, alright? It definitely is, because slingers are a thing that maybe you wouldn't take, but now they're, you know, amazing. And here, yeah, we're just going to get killed. We're going to run at them at 17 speed, so they're going to be able to probably just kill us entirely, yeah. Maybe we'll run away, that's smarter. I should play Nanman. I mean, not really. I'm sure that no matter what faction I'm playing, I will find a way to play it like a chump. Historically, it's very scary. Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, no doubt. It's just coming from, like, you know, playing the game with your other brain on, you know, it's just like, wait, what do you mean this sling is killing me? Primary armor piercing, yeah, for real. That stone ain't gonna care if you're wearing armor. Alright, and now they get shot by the towers, finally. That guy's running off. We'll get on them. We'll leave him fighting here, and then we'll send him in this direction, because I'm afraid these guys are going to run. Well, you know, we said we wanted Dongtuna to jump us, so we got what we wanted. Good job. And then he gets hit by suppressing fire and has 30 speed and no charge. Time for the most underwhelming charge of all time. You know, the rear charge actually might make him break anyway, even though we don't do any damage at all. Disgusting. We got him there, and on this side it looks like they're running. And despite all the odds, it looks like we're gonna win. I can't. You know, I will say, it does make it very engaging, feeling like you could lose the game at any time. No charge bonus. Eesh. Because, like, plenty of times, it's like, okay, now I'm good, but, like, I feel like I'm so bad at this now that even taking a minor settlement is something I could lose with, like, a premium end-game army. I feel like there's no way I could ever do anything right again. Which is fascinating, right? Because I actually was feeling like I knew how to play. You know, good 600 hours, I finally felt like a medium player, and now I feel like I've never played this game before every time I'm in a battle. You know, it's very fresh. I wonder if I'll abandon it eventually. Because as good as the battles feel while I'm losing them, and there's all these incomprehensible effects happening, I also kind of miss my heroes being good at stuff. And, like, you know, I think the really good thing about it is because everything is worse, now whenever I make mistakes, they don't get punished as heavily. But I also can't ever make a difference on the battlefield. So, you know, there's that. I just have to, like, hope that my guys beat their guys through very little input of my own. It's rough. But yeah, so how do you beat Nanman now? Just artillery and fire arrows and staying inside the walls? I mean, sounds like a good way to win jungle warfare. Cause yeah. Cause I guess repeating crossbows have suppressive fire, right? But you usually don't see like 6 repeaters in an army. To be fair, it's only 5. Okay, so you get chi regardless. Little blood sacrifice for extra supplies. No, we'll take the money. Until run home, we can't beat him, so we're just gonna have to let him go home. I mean, that's okay, right? So okay that we'll be here forever. Guess we'll just go that one. I doubt we'll play long enough to hit it. Because I assume someone's going to come and render us a game over before too long. I guess we just fire these people because I'm sick of seeing their faces. Not you. What do you do? Man of no mercy. You know, really good traits, but I'm just so sick of seeing red faces. If you're unsatisfied, I'm going to fire you. Don't tell me that you're unhappy. Like, imagine going around being like, I want a job. You know I can't give you a job. There are no jobs to give. There are 0 jobs to give. It's not like I have 15 commanderies. Get a life. Alright, she does indeed have fire arrows to start, so that's what we'll get. Couple repeaters. 3 repeaters? I don't know. 220 range on these things? Yeah. Oh, because it's the Nanman lands, so you always stay on that map, too. You don't get the walls. Right. Well, if you had, like, some multiple crossbows on that hill that overlooks where they run up, that'd be pretty sick. We'll give him Wuling.
我们谈谈吧。足下可谓心怀大志。
Here we can see our affordable blessings. We're just going to take. The affordable one still lists the stuff that you've bought before, which is fine, you know. You can see them easily enough with the ring. Because he was beat up and then he marched over there, which means if we go for the port now, he went into March. I don't think he can get back in a turn, but we can't get to the port in a turn either. Shimoka Confederates. That guy with the name I'm not even going to try to say. Junyo, welcome to the party. And he has... Oh, okay. Map wide, visibility range, force spotting, and speed. Turning the tide ability for that, which, yeah, we know that one. And then... You know, respectable.
恪守职责。
Move
打起
here.
精神来，
No, we'll move like here. We don't need to worry about
向世人宣告
getting too close
我
in
军
because
大
he
业
was beat up and in March. Don't know how Nanman military supplies work, but because he either goes to take that commandery that he was going for, or maybe found war with somebody else. Liju's gonna pay me. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't care what the Emperor's doing. I'm here serving the way here by the river. He marches down there. Well, that's a mistake too. Zhang Li has come of age. What does she do? I know she's our starting heir. What does she do? Oh, she's a courageous scout. So, you know... Definitely, you know, a nice character. But certainly not somebody that you, like, care about keeping as your heir or anything. Also, she's beautiful, and that makes people unhappy.
请坐，我们谈谈吧。
Oh, I'm like, what? Why don't you want to take it? Oh, I had the wrong thing. I'm like, we're giving this away. I don't want your stuff. We will take a marriage alliance, though. The names are the last... No, the last names are the same, you know. It doesn't mean we're related, but still, unseemly. How about you just pay me some money? Do you have some money? Decent.
这是你我友谊的象征。
So eventually, yeah, when you go to tier 7, when you go to tier 8, you get the armored archers and the heavy spear guards there. I just learned that you can mouse over the things in the garrison to see what they have. Do we have a unique building? I don't think so, but he hardly needs one with the needle path thing. This is quite a unique enough building. Alright, and then here we're going to...
该当如此，养兵千日，用兵一时。
Like here, I'm like, would we learn anything from doing the battle? No. We would learn that we fight on the one side and burn the towers down.
欢呼庆祝吧！
Hey, man, they are all joining me. First of all, I love that. I love it so much. They are all joining me. Love it. Great.
熊烈火，今日又得重燃。
Heyo, what? Heyo, what? Okay. So this building gives us axe throwers, fire archers, Javi spearmen at rank 1. All of this. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, that's the realness there. Because javelin spearmen, if they're anything like the javelin spearmen that we remember, are very nice indeed. Across the bottom for mighty knockback, yes, definitely. Bum, 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 So we figure, well, he'll either stay at war with us and move up here and fight, because he's about to have a good time, right? Now that he's regionless. We could try to get peace with him. No. The best thing is, when you get somebody to the regionless state, is then you peace out with them, and then they just go somewhere else forever, and you never have to think about it again. Alright, but just to confirm, yeah, so we are seeing the armor bonus and the morale bonus on there on all classes of character. We're seeing that. Let's make sure the ammo works. No, we can't do that yet. Let's pay that. Make sure the ammo works. Yes, indeed. Because this faction has everything you need for greatness, right? Really cool mechanic. A starting position that will give you an experience that's fairly unique to it. Like, you are in the thick of it here, right? It's not like, what'll I do? It's like, hey, this is what this faction is for. If you want to do this, if you want to fight the Nanman, if you want to bring about, you know, the glory and the pacification of the jungles, this is how to do it. And, yeah, you know, sure, the numbers might change a little bit, but fundamentally, these numbers are amazing things to see anyway. These are like, in my opinion, you know, this is like the Bandit Network sort of fused in. Like, I love a bunch of passive benefits. I love seeing my army get stronger and stronger, and obviously I'll need that, given that I am technically playing the game sometimes, but I mean, it doesn't look like it. It's just tough, you know, it's tough adjusting. We will cooperate. We will not. Stop saying I'll cooperate with you. You don't know me. You don't know me. But of course, once you get the red buildings up too, for the lowered movement of your enemies and stuff, you need a reason to accumulate or spend stuff on once you get all the bonuses. Assignments. Yeah, you know, you have the replen assignment. A daughter's been born. Joyous occasion. Yeah, because it's like, because you spend it, I mean, maybe, because here you have no benefits from the breakpoints, except it decays whenever you have it very high. Why ever save up the stuff at all? Indeed, that's what I was about to say. So, like, it would be cool to see something here, you know, when you have an overflowing amount, maybe it would lower public order, but no, that's not what it's for, right? You know, because it's just like all the chi you have. Like, but yeah, some sort of effect that, you know, is really, because if you're losing the 25, eventually, you know, if you have a whole lot of assignments, you can make that up. But she's unhappy. Stop being unhappy. Why won't you all be happy? some acupoints. Like, yeah, you had to be at a higher amount in order to get them. That would be cool. And by cool, I mean, it would stop me from getting what I want. No, that would be, yeah, because it would be, yeah, once you get the points, what's left for the points? I mean, there's plenty of faction resources like that, I guess, but it is, because the decay goes up and you don't really need, like, what's the highest point cost that we see, right? There's like 100 somewhere. Yeah, there's 100 somewhere, but that's really just like in this range here, so there would be no reason to acquire more of them unless you just, you know, felt like it. Because you can perform the rites and channel the healing breath. Channeling the healing breath, I mean, that's not bad, but again, it's just 2 chi a turn, and how often are you really going to need it? Also run out of bandits Nanman pretty quickish. I mean, some, but not that quick. Because you could just, like, wait for them to keep on coming across the mountain at you if you want. Yeah, but the thing is, from trade-offs, we're already... From taking a somewhat limited amount of trade-offs, right? Like, what forbidden ones do we take? We took 4 of them. And from those 4, we're getting 9 positive points every turn. And that's enough to generate, you know, a new thing or so every year or 2. And here, we'll go ahead, take the negative food, which doesn't even affect anything. I mean, it affects something. It doesn't, because the percentage is lower than the thing, it doesn't round up. I'm sure the effect, well, I'm not sure the effect has a thing. I bet the effect has a thing. And then we'll take our armor piercing there, and we'll take our speed. Because what I like about starts like this, starts at like the corners of the map, right, is that you get to see the era unfold without, you know, you being part of it. And when you're over here, it's like, all right, we're just going to do our thing over here. I do wonder what's happening in the Central Plains and stuff. Resources that much, late game longevity. Yeah. You know, I imagine it's a tricky balance to cast, right? Because if it takes too long to spend points at all, then people will just bounce off of it, right? If you have a faction mechanic that you can't interact with for 2 or 3 years, many people won't do it at all. But it does feel like some of them are, you know, more achievable. But I guess, you know, it's just all about striking those. And, you know, Ironic said that the numbers were still in flux. So we might see some that do cost more, that maybe have a bigger magnitude, and that with a bigger payoff, but that you have to be up here. But even then, you know, how much is this passive decay going to be worth? And is there really going to be a 500 point thing? I mean, I doubt it. That'd be cool, though. The White Feather General. Especially the income from all sources, that one's really easy to sack over, right? And so is the satisfaction early, although I'm like, why am I unhappy? I mean, I could always just get this one. It's very affordable. But, you know, the public order one, we didn't need to get that. I just wanted to counteract this one somewhat. Because the public order one, right, that one gives you 3 per turn forbidden points. It gives you the 90. I feel like this is just an incredibly logical first turn pick. Along with replan.
居安思危，未雨绸缪。我已归来，欢呼吧！
This seems like a... No, I really like the idea of this faction. Right here in the thick of the Nanman. A very good place on the map to be from as Han, right? Because you have the super desirable commanderies of the south next to you if you elect to try to go and brawl over there. You know, and if you just want to take them somewhat later, someone else will have built them up for you. And then you've got your armor crafter and your weapon crafter. They're not close here. The armor crafter is pretty close. But, you know, if you wanted to... just drop this stuff and brawl against the lady. Because you start here, you can absolutely make your way over and try to, you know, take Changsha. I don't know how that would work for you, but you could try. Growing might demands bodies, and then we get... Yes, all sorts of the interactions there happening, and... wants us to be a marquis, and I have no idea. Oh, he took this place. Oh, he attacked our buddy. That's too bad.
时局变动，戡乱讨逆。
迈向胜利。
I'm like, wait, no. Shimoka just declared against us. We can't abandon our land. Well, we're not abandoning it. Oh, the Nanman Spearmen have almost no armor piercing at all.
山有巅峰，人有至尊。
You know, they got that big bonus for Slarge, of course, but... The Slingers, though, like, I totally believe in these guys. Although, really, I guess... Repeating Crossbow probably superior. Repeating Crossbow... Probably real good. I mean, I guess they don't really do that much damage, but they, 220 range and the suppression, probably pretty good. The tower projectiles have taken, and the garrison unit themselves are invested. That's right, yeah. Well, I feel like the movement reduction, though, right? The movement reduction thing in our lands, and, you know, the garrison, but... The bastions, you know, whatever. But the tower projectiles will be very good, though, because we have that hill fort thing. And with tower projectiles juiced, those ones on the top will probably reach, like, the entire thing. It might actually be very good indeed. Because we already saw how the barricades can significantly funnel their forces to only a couple of places. Because while the AI can hit a barricade, I don't think they ever choose to, right? They're in that, they are just like me, a human. Where I'm like, a barricade? Guess I'll go around the whole city. Yes, and now all the factions like us better. No, we don't have. They will dismount cavalry, climb a wall. Yep. You should even know they could do. Oh yeah, we should have known that. Well, there's the Matung thing, but ages ago, against Cao Cao in Vanilla, well, we should have known that. Why didn't you remember this campaign that happened a year ago that I can only vaguely describe? But he definitely, I remember tiger cubs and tiger and leopard cavalry climbing up the walls of a gate pass and then fighting them. But yeah, the dismounting cavalry to climb wall is excellent. But I figure here, you're almost always fighting Nanman. Like, if you're in the Nanman lands, so you don't have a wall, who's coming out there, right? Like, who's gonna come all the way? Because the closest major settlement that's not Nanman is, like, you know, over here. Are they really trekking there? This is a long walk, right? This is a very, very long walk. But I think that's the real benefit of the red building. You go improve tower projectiles, -45 campaign movement range, or even just at -30, right? Because then it's going to take them forever to get here. And then she will beat Bates. That's not the right word. Yeah, bait's not the right word. She will be out there applying theoretical leverage. Zhonyo immediately shows up and is like, "Oh yeah, Taoism, I've heard of it. Let me go nuts. I'll do a little ritual. Don't worry about it." Okay. Well, he had night battle. I think this is fine, though, because I think he would have had to march to get back inside, and I'm pretty sure that our big guy is going to be able to get in. So, you know, very good. Yeah, he did have to march to get back in, which is crucial. You know, it's going to really mess him up for when we don't quite get inside. Well, you know, it'll still be fine. Get some happiness for the people. Make sure that registers next turn. Crucially, same thing as last time, only now, yeah, he sees through the ambush, hits her, night battles are off, but he gets caught in between our armies, doesn't want to take the night battle against this army because we're too strong. And we gain the discourses of the states. And now a battle we probably can win. know the Nanman absolutely hate fire, so maybe... You know, maybe the thing to do is to just take a fire arrow strategist to the first fight, like I should have done. And then, you know, and then you could burn down the towers and you wouldn't be, you know, having as much fun as we're having. Reposition a little bit here. Oh goodness. Yeah, we're amazing. So we did all of that, and then my guy, I think I was on like moving slowly mode. But the good news is that all of our huge backline is, you know, not, they didn't get it yet. They're, you know, we met them in the front here, and actually the cavalry flank is going a treat. Do we want to just get in here? Yeah, we do. And we'll try to push across here. Repeating crossbows are super good, aren't they? But it could also be a combination of everything. Yeah, it could be a combination of everything. Repeating crossbows, the fire arrows, which we know to be very good against the Nanman. Yeah, you know, now all of a sudden, I feel like our army can win. All we needed was an unfair fight in the field. See, and this feels like we're playing the game that I know and love. Yeah, we roll over them this way. No, that defense against Matong where they had what, like so many stacks, and then they got all their marauders and got them off of their horses. Good stuff. Went from how are we gonna do it to oh, okay. Yeah, definitely easier to fight them when they're not defending a place. The extra army barely mattered, but it's about sending a message. And for all we know, we'll be able to get him in the party too. Yeah, repeaters. Oh my goodness, yeah. These guys have 81 kills and they still have 11 ammo left. Repeaters might be the cracked unit in this mod. Suppression plus killy, because that's in like 5 minutes there. They've got, you know, more kills than the Archer Militia do. Better range. I guess we're here against like unarmored people where they are at their peak, but yeah, repeaters and Archer Militia fired arrows. There you go. There's our early game against the Nanman plan. That's historical. Yeah, 100% to the charge bonus. 100%'s a lot of percent, right? That's reminiscent of the battle Cao Cao unmodified. The vanilla game thinks Cao Cao should be able to turn your cavalry 100% off trick. So it reduces a few things, I think melee evasion and the speed, and maybe it wasn't melee evasion. It reduces range fire rate, which is great, you know. Maybe it's melee attack speed, but we'll do it.
都放了吧。一统天下。全力奋战，则战
Because even with just with 220 range, and that it feels like they would be not only just very good
随我来。
for things you would want for, they would also be quite excellent at archer versus archer sniping, right? They have 51 armor, so they win the archer duel against regular archers and archer militia, in addition to having more range than them. They do cost more, sure, but yeah, suppression's real good. They also, it says they're poor in melee, but they have respectable damage stats compared to Archer Militia even, right? You know, they have 36 melee attack and they swing 31 times a minute. That's like, that's fine. That's just like a low evasion. Yeah, they're might be more fine in melee than they ought to be, right? 36 melee attack, melee damage is a lot for a guy that is not supposed to be a melee fighter, right? That's the melee damage of a Saber Militia. The Saber Militia has evasion, so they match up, but not that much more evasion, right? They have 10 more evasion. They are cheaper, but, you know, it's just one of those things.
护卫巡查四周，
向前进军，
恢复原样。今夜宿营于此。
Or do we send her back? Yeah, we send her back now,
当断则断，天下宿
so
命
that she'll be
尽
here
在
in a
我手。
turn if Shamoka shows up. To be honest, you still prefer the base game battle system. I'm really glad actually that the mod does have it separated out. I think that's a bit of excellent design, because while the retune stuff is very cool and gives you more of like the slower paced flanking's more important, more things, but the power fantasy is important for my enjoyment, right? You know, like I want Guan Yu to feel like Guan Yu when he runs out there, which maybe he does. Maybe I'm just blaming Tai Shi losing that duel for too much.
违令者斩，精力充沛，如获新生。
敢 该当如此。
And we can't get there in time. Jeez.
迈向胜利。巡查四周。
Another trade agreement. Don't mind if I do. Because if we could level up our faction here too, you get the trade agreements. Because when you have the river and you're not at war on it, right, you get like access to all sorts of excellent avenues.
秩序井然，则四
For
海可定。
success.
唯有扫清六合，天下才能平定。
Yep, and there's our trade route vision going there. Well, there, you know, you get your little mercantile empire set up here, and you're just fighting the Nanman tribes and doing your thing. Everyone up there is being so rude to each other, and you're just like staying out of it.
正气如火，熊熊不息，释放怒火吧！养兵千日，用兵一时。
Alright, let's try it. No, this time we've got fire arrows and stuff, so I feel like it'll be a very different dynamic on the sieges. We should get much fast, right? Well, you know, in this faction you can. Oh, it's raining. That's not what you want to see. Vassalize him? Yeah, for sure. Because we don't need this land. I think we vassalize him and see how long it takes him to get mad. It'll be worth a good chunk of money, right? And we'll see if we get like a diplomatic thing, like maybe no one will get mad for the vassalization if we do it through that mechanic and not diplo-wise. I'm like, do we think they have anything hidden over here to stop this? We're just gonna go. Because even in the rain, 3 units of archer militia will still burn down a tower someday. I think actually most of their slingers are back there and not engaged over here, so we're going to be able to crack this side very well. Nope, I lied. They do have slingers here. This isn't going to work. Well, no, they didn't hit us there. We do get our charge bonus. Can we just break through?
友军正在遭受攻击。
开战！
But you know, one glorious blob fight later, two glorious blob fights later. Because here we just do a frontal charge on them. You know, there's nothing to do but that, right? There we go, push through. And here, these guys just running away. Why? Why? Why are things the way they are? Alright, so, I gotta remember that everybody's bad at fighting. I forgot. Because the field battle went well, I forgot that everybody sucks at everything. And I just thought we would get through here. We're not going to get through there. We need to leave. You know, the one slinger unit makes every cavalry unit you have useless. But the repeating crossbows, probably the only thing we need to succeed. I think cavalry's a trap against Nanman. I think you need like one unit of red and one unit of yellow for sweeping. I think it's a big trap. Because they don't do work. All they do is get caught. I think we're gonna lose this. We should have taken the auto, huh? Yeah, definitely too much cavalry. Only need the very, very smallest amount of cavalry. Because every Nanman army is going to have slingers, which means every Nanman army is functionally immune to cavalry. So just, axes and repeating crossbows and fire arrows? I think so. Axes for the shield breaker, and then the repeaters to do the actual damage that you need, and fire arrows for the morale break and to burn down a tower, and then just enough to hold. And basically zero cav, because man, cav are terrible. Just legitimately bad. They can't do anything against the Nanman. Can't do anything at all. And you don't need the mobility, right? First of all, the mobility doesn't even work, because as soon as they hit you with the sling, then suddenly you're running as fast as a regular guy. Yep, all about the repeaters. Spring fire? I have fire, it just doesn't do very well. Because archer militia are the worst. Yeah, they take double fire damage, but archer militia take like 84 years to shoot anything. You know, I'm sure later game I could get something against them. But I still wouldn't be able to bring cavalry, because I imagine they'll have slingers the whole time. Now, I believe they take 4 morale damage there. You know, we can't see the... Okay, so some of them don't take the fire damage. Okay, The slingers don't take the double fire damage. The Nanman spears don't take the double fire damage. A lot of their units don't. It's the Nanman warriors that do. But a lot of their units, it's just purples that we're seeing with it, right? And none of the blues or the greens are taking that double fire damage. So, yeesh. Losing the whole circle on the front there. No, Rotten equals no extra fire damage. Ah. Because that's what their shields are. I see. Yes, I mean, we could theoretically win this still. I think just because we have a lot of ammo. Probably moving forward and fighting is a very bad idea, but we can always just dismount our heroes. That does work. Because while they are legitimately terrible at everything, and as long as they're not on a horse, the spears won't be able to kill them. They crawl at 16 speed. The armor. Oh, okay, okay. Here's a better dismount without splash abilities. Yeah, I feel like I have never used a hero on a horse properly. Because I've only played with the battle swap, the battle changes, right, like, for a couple of days. And I think the entire time I have never used a hero on a horse properly. I don't think they do what I think they do, right? I don't think they do that at all. We somehow win. Yeah, it's all about the repeaters, right? These repeaters got 70 kills and they still have ammo left. Yeah, I think just a huge amount of repeating crossbows is the only thing that we've actually seen in our whole faction that does work. So we'll just get like a big wall of dudes and a smallish wall of repeaters behind them with the very smallest amount of cavalry because it's non-functional against the Nanman. I think, yeah, they only had like one slinger here. They had two slingers here, and it made them not work at all. And we will get these people with big long names, vassalize them, which makes some money. You know, hey, it's not the worst. We promote them. Is anybody annoyed with... Ah, yes, the treaties with our enemies thing. Oh. Oh! Because it's not a diplomatic vassalization, they still inherit their previous wars? Very fascinating. All right. More range damage. Just make sure that it shows up on the tooltip. Alright, looks to be working. Because too, this faction boosts up, your ammo and stuff, so maybe just full-on repeating crossbows. They're armored, which matches up well against the unarmored strikes of the Nanman. Their fire rate will get hit by suppression, but they'll offer it in turn. Yeah, just Just a lot of them.
秩序井然，则四海可定。
No, we'll go granary here. Replenish supplies, my second favorite assignment. Yeah, so I think here, seeing how the diplomacy works on the... oh, that's nice. Like, how do you even have 2,000? Yeah, we'll accept it. That is a good idea, buddy. You know, 700 a turn, it's decent money, but... Oh, and just like that, the Nanman rebels took it over, probably eliminating that faction. Cao Cao gets popped. They might be out there somewhere. But still, the Nanman rebels get in there. Shiji has moved in already. Look at that. Look at him. Maybe he starts there. I guess without me playing Chupan to hit him, he has plenty of time to improve. Granary up.
打起精神来！请下命令，前进！
Do we need 2 spears? I think 1 is probably fine. I wonder what the unique unit for this faction will be. What are the unique units? If we are getting them. Oh, and then we moved away and he takes over there. Or he just... I think he just declared war on us and dropped the vassalization is what happened. No, he got destroyed by... the flag just didn't swap. There you go. Well, you know, it was worth a small amount of money for a while. Yang Feng captures the Emperor in 194, doing well for himself. And then the looters to Yuan Chao thing, because the... When a bandit gets the Emperor, he runs away to somebody. So I guess Yuan Chao got him, which is... like, good job for him, right? Canonically, is Yuan Chao the one who's paying Yang Feng to be around in there in the first place, or that who's affiliated with him? I think so, right? That would make sense because it's the same. Because Yang Feng is broadly associated, broadly with the coalition, but like the Emperor ended up with them, right? One thing leading to another when he was fleeing from Chang'an in the aftermath.
团结一致。
Trade route given tons of vision. Feels good. Here it's like, well, I guess I'll run up here and fight here again, man. Shouldn't have walked away. Oh, and now we're broke again, of course. Maybe I should be playing on easy. The game hasn't told me to turn the difficulty down yet. So at least I'm not fighting 3 turns over a gate pass. That sounds like fun as long as it's my gate pass. That's why I turned the battle down from 60 minutes to 40 minutes, because Cao Cao kept sieging both sides of my gate pass and not getting in the other side and just standing out there. Cao Cao joins Zhang Chao's coalition. Interesting. Liu Pan gets popped by the Lady Wu. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, well, I woke up this morning and chose a subterfuge. As one does.
乱军 终于得以平息。此城
Cao
圣
Cao
上
became
先收下
the prime minister of the Yellow Turban Rebellion in my Gongdu playthrough, which very fun. And then Gan Ning shot him in the face. No, I don't think it was Gan Ning. I think somebody had Gan Ning's bow, and I knew it, and then they shot him in the face. You know, he got better. Do we drop... Where'd the food go? Yeesh. Yes, it is winter. I'm like, all right. Here with the mild winters. No, I love the gate passes in this game. In the mod, they're even better, of course, like, just structurally. But I love, like, the function of them, because coming from Warhammer, where you have, like, the fort passes into the Empire, but all they do is go around, or ignore them, or walk physically through them, you know, like, which I guess they could do here if they besiege and walk through, but still, you know, it's, I feel like the gate passes actually do what they're supposed to do most of the time, and with the huge replenishment that you get, a super excellent early pickup, you know, even if you don't need to defend it, it's just like a great place to muster up units and stuff, and, of course, a small, careful garrison can defend it against many foes. Upkeep production does work. Beautiful. He said interception one. Right. Too bad it doesn't fix you. Yeah, it's like, who wants to get on the other side here? Would it be the Wood Elves or the Orcses? Like, oh, this is gonna stop Bretonia from riding their very French horses across the border. They'll just go around. But besides, there's so many things in this I prefer to Warhammer, but one of the things I love most is that the map has distinct theaters of war feelings, and that it's not like, oh, we're just gonna wing it, you know, like there's always something that's important going on, you know, like when you take a river in Warhammer, it feels totally meaningless. When you have the border on a river, you're like, oh yeah, they'll just get over here. They'll just teleport across. Something will happen. It won't matter. But in this game, when you get like a natural geographic border, like not even an edge of the map one, you know, like you take, you know, Changsha or something, you're like, all right, now we got this thing. We know it's super awkward for them to get over here. It's just very satisfying. And there's so many different places on the map that you can fortress up in, which is one of my favorite things. And then, of course, you know, the marriages and the bouncing happy children, you know, that's all part of it too. That's all very good. Do we want another thing here? Can we get one? Yes, let's get... Yes, another Nanman to hold the line. Anything to make you happier? Barely. Huh. Alright, so maybe the stone axe is just accessible to less people, because it seems like the twin flint weapons are just superior. Okay, so you get more damage and more armor piercing damage, the same attack rate, right? The same attack rate with almost double damage, same rarity. You lose 3 resolve, but gain 3 expertise, and they still have shield breaker. Do they have bad animations, maybe? Maybe they have bad animations. Oh, you say the attackers are. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was like, because these are very punchy compared to that, so I was just surprised to see the machete and the stone axe look like they're in proportion to what you would expect for a common rarity thing. All right. Hey, I found something. Hooray! I love finding a thing. It makes me feel like I'm being useful. Not really. Nothing makes me feel that way. What's the time? 12:30-ish. I'm not going to complain. It's good to have a job. They do also have bad animations. Are they bad animations on foot as well, or are they just the bad animations on horseback? Because I don't even have people on foot anymore. I don't even believe in that. Trade Agreement City. I think this is definitely the way to go here, yeah. Because, yeah, especially with the faction here where you have, like, a river setting where you get trade, because this is going to give us good visibility as well. I think this river is going to give us the trade route. Well, no, maybe it'll be an overland trade route here. But for all we know, it could be an entire, like, vision run here, which could give us a trouble, but maybe not. Because here, you know, I'm sort of seeing how the thing runs out. You take the cool lands here, you build on commerce, you build on trade, and then you're so far from any Han influences of power, besides Lady Wu, who you could probably pal around with, probably, that you can, you know, build up here and then just fight Shimoka forever. I think we can win this against him. Yeah, because he's only got the one army. Ooh, yeah, alright, so the Wuling fighters. You must beware the Wuling fighters. They have tribal pride, which is one of the best buffs in the game. When you see somebody who gets 300% damage against enemy generals, the thing with that is they do that against the general, but they also do that against the other people they're hitting if the general's around. You see this on the Wuling fighters, and then on the Zhanbei headhunters, the purple cavalry of the Zhanbei people of the north, which you can get from like one of the tack-on buildings here if you're not playing the cultural thing. I think it's one of these up in that sort of... But just extraordinary fighters. And then Might of the Valley get Berserk. Okay, so they get wounded. They lose all their melee evasion, which isn't much. And then double their damage. Okay. 50 missile resist is what they start with, so that's pretty good. Got the miasma. And then, yeah, decent charge, big AP, bonus versus large on them, too. Oh. Well, that is interesting. But the thing is health is below 50%. This is one of those things where if they're not unbreakable, how long are they going to be fighting if they're that hurt? Because most units, I mean, 60 morale, they might fight for 10% more HP. But I guess maybe if you were beat up, I don't know how those abilities work. If it's, like, theoretical max hit point, it's probably not. It's probably model hit points when you go in. So if there's 80 models in the unit going in, you would still need to lose half of that hit points. Probably. That's right, but we've got all the Nanman accessible units here now. All of them? No, not all of them. We do get fire arrows. What are fire arrows like? Oh god, they're amazing! Okay. So, you move here and you take Zonka. Then you get this. You get fire arrows rank 1. Fire arrows have a lot of ammo, 35 ammo. Well, 30. They'll have less without your additional things added on. But, you know, yeah, what's not to like? You get them, anybody can get them. So then you do the typical I'm fighting against the Nanman thing. Get your fire archers online. Although it only really works against the armored guys. But there's still plenty of them that are good. Javi throwers, 9 ammo on them. And they've got very big bonus versus large for when they do engage. Javi spearmen. Okay, they got 4 javelins and then they're fast. Good stuff. HP directly. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I just didn't know how it calculated 50% HP going gone, but I was like, no, it would definitely be like that, because I played Warhammer, you know. Any ranged units better than Archer Militia, indeed. And, importantly, it lets you get it on a non-strategist, although you like the strategist, because then you can spend all the strategist retinue on your repeating crossbows. Here, what we want to do is try to provoke them to get here, or can we reach them? No. Yeah, we're in... Well, this isn't even Nanman lands.
居安思危，未雨绸缪。
But yeah, so... Oh, we should do this assignment to make sure that it works. I'm sure it does. But I'm like, we didn't even do it. We know the perform Taoist rites assignment works. We also know that it goes to new people in the faction, which that probably always works. But, you know, we know that that happens too. Oh, agricultural development. That's where the food went. We had that dude doing agri development.
扫清六合。
Which is an incredibly strong pickup in the early game, right? I struggle to think of many assignments you would want more than here's 4 food. In the very early game, you can get a lot out of that.
方提议，
We will support you in Shu's claim to the emperorship. Of course we will. Why wouldn't we? They call him an arrogant opportunist, but what I see is a man in a fine hat with a huge loving family who, you know, served in court positions for 4 generations. Very prestigious. You could also get 4 food techs. Yeah, I grabbed that one earlier as well, for sure. Yeah, every time I don't take that tech first or second, I regret it. You know, you gotta get that. That one's so good early. It's one of the, you know, and I like a tech like that too. I like a technology in a game that feels very good at one point, and then later on you're like, whatever. Because it, you know, it makes you feel like there's an actual trade-off beyond the trade-off of other things. It's like, later when I have 80 food, this won't matter. It doesn't link to anything in the tree, which is smart too, right? Because it's so desirable early game, you don't need to link it to anything else. Alright, we already did that one. It's summer now. Summertime and the living is easy. Twin Marshal G arrive in the mail. And these Nanman rebels are going somewhere. They might be coming to attack me for all I know. Yeah, because he might besiege us for a turn, but he won't be able to put a hole in the thing there. But hopefully we'll get one good battle to end the little test run with. Because it is just about time for it to be time for me to call it a day and then go work. Zug zug. Oh, it's hot out there, folks. It is. It is hot out there. I know there are places in the world that are hotter than Arkansas, but there's not like a whole lot of them. No, there's plenty of them, but it's miserable here. Suffering's not a competition, but if it was, y'all, no, it's not so bad. When I grew up, right, when I was growing up, whenever I was a kid, there were no houses between my house and the bayou. I live rather further from the bayou now, and so the humidity's not so bad, and the mosquitoes are like human-sized and not like gorilla-sized. Only 37 under shade today here. What is 37 Celsius? Oh, yeah, you know, it's about as hot as it gets here. What is it going to be today? 100? No, I think that's tomorrow. It's only 80. Oh, it's raining today. We have an excessive heat advisory. Probably because the humidity is about 1,000,000%. But yeah, it was like 103 the other week, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah. No, 30, 37, yeah, you know, 98, 99 degrees, that's no joke at all. I guess it's only going to be like 93 or 94 around here. Earlier, so I took my vacation last week, and I thought it was going to be the hottest week of the year, and it was only like 95 degrees all week. I got so mad. Hey, Roman. Yeah, well, again, not a chef. There are no chefs in my restaurant.
全力奋战！
拿起武器，
But
开战！
I'm just a cook, like Steven Seagal says. What are these rebels doing? Alright, so they would have started off at war with the person that they had a rebellion with. Are they trying to find them? But no, I can't complain too much about the heat. You know, my AC works at my house, and at work, I'm like this far away from being actually on fire, so there's not really anything you can do. No, not really. I'm not like, I don't leave with a singed mustache, although if I leaned forward, I probably would.
正气如火，熊熊不息。
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going. We're just gonna see where they end up going. Oh, okay. Maybe...
我们平心静气谈一谈。
These guys took Shimoka's land off of him. I'm like, well, I guess he's gonna go try to get it back, but...
团结一心，不，
Because the thing is, too, is Nanman fighters have the coolest tree in the game because you build it up through doing feats, right? So getting Nanman in a Han playthrough really early is a bit of a power fantasy for me, because I rather like the Nanman heroes, even if they're not, you know, Dai Lai or my girl Zhurong. They're still very good, and the ceiling on them when they get fully leveled up is so high. It's very gratifying to reach it, or reach out at it. And here we seem to have very good joining chances from the Nanman here. You know, we got like 4 Nanman generals pretty easy. It says 0, it doesn't mean 0. Don't trust him. No, there's a couple people I work with that are Yankees, right? They're from up north, and the summer, like, look, it's hard on all of us, but to them who are like from like a place with a temperate climate, and then they come here to Arkansas, and they're like, how hot could it be? And I'm like, ho 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 ho. Have you ever been to a
心
swamp?
境澄澈，天下庶几可定。行则同进，战则同袍。
Not the humidity. Yeah, I'm like, first of all, it's very hot, and also the humidity. Once, you know, you don't want to like be rude to people on the internet. I mean, maybe you do, but like, I was on Reddit one time, and this person, a British person from the Isle of Great Britain somewhere, was being like, y'all don't understand how humid it is here. It's so hot and humid. I look it up, and it's both colder there and less humid than here. And I was like, I was typing like this, man. And then, like a gentleman, I just didn't post the comment. Do y'all do that? I do it all the time. I'm actually very proud of myself every time I don't post a comment on the internet. I used to a lot. Like, you know, I'm like an old person now, but I was once a very fiery younger man, and I'll be like, oh, this guy said something slightly incorrect on the internet. I cannot wait to light them up. How could you be imprecise in your wording, sir? And then now I'm like, you know, I'm good. I'll just let him have it. If we hit Shimoka here, he probably runs.
居安思危， 未雨绸缪。
燃遍天下。
There's nobody here. Oh yeah, there's nobody home at all. Did I play Total War Britannia? I did not. My only Total War background is in the Warhammer games and this one. And I have, probably like 2,000 hours into the Warhammer trilogy. Something like 300 or 350 in one, like 1,000 in two, and then something like 700 in three is, I think, what my split is, somewhere around there. And then I'm on 620 or so hours of this game. Probably about half of them vanilla, and then I played a couple Make Them Unique campaigns, and then a month and a half ago, I got started on this 190 Expanded, and now I'm fully on this train. I'm never playing vanilla again. I'm in love with this mod. It's just so fun. I'm just playing with the battle overhauls very recently, which is like another whole level of, you know, of interest and, stuff to get out of it. But even just playing, you know, dipping your toe in the water and just playing with all the other stuff without the battle and hero overhaul, which is what I did, it's just so tremendous to have access to all of these, like, really quite cool mechanics for minor factions. You know, you load into the vanilla game. I did just to look at it, you know, and I was testing out something of, whatever. Really just looking at the screen, and I was like, wait, there's like, you can't play hardly anybody. And like, because I wanted to see what the South was like. That's what I was doing. And I was like, man, there's nobody down here. What is that for making this on there? But no, I didn't play, you know, I heard good things about Britannia. If I play another Total War historical, it'll probably be Rome. I played a small amount of Troy, which is, of course, history adjacent. Troy I would consider very similar to this game, although worse. I don't know why I would characterize it that way. I haven't played Troy in years and years. I got Troy for free from Epic Games. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know Epic Games as a store existed. Although, you know, I'm sure somebody I knew had played Fortnite. Did I watch Spider-Man? No, not yet. I'm going tomorrow afternoon, I think. Yeah, no, it's a worldwide phenomenon. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of Spider-Man. I like him and stuff, but you know, plenty of people are like super into it. You know, like I saw all the movies, and I'm pretty sure, you know, I would choose him and, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom pretty frequently, you know, but plenty of people are like proper obsessed with him, and I just think he's a cool guy. But yeah, I'm going soon. I got a bunch of buddies at work that are mega into him. But like I have like some comics, not a ton, but I don't even think I got any Spider-Man specific ones. I like Domino. That's my girl. Like I got into Domino right at the very beginning of her comic run. I don't really buy comics anymore. Because the shop that I bought them at in town stopped selling them, and the other shop I don't like to patronize. Ooh, all right. Well, this will be a fun battle for the end of the little crunchy campaign here. With our inferior forces, our advisors predict a close defeat. Let's see if they're correct. Wuling fighters. How do we deal with the Wuling fighters here? We try to engage them with the axe band with our heroes far away and then shoot them. Yeah, I mean, seems like a plan. They've got the reinforcements, though. I'm worried about that. It'll be fine. The stakes are low. But no, I hadn't been to the cinema in some time, but I went and saw the Odyssey a couple weeks ago and had a very high opinion of that. I'm not a classicist, but I'm classical. So, you know, I definitely was excited to see a proper good treatment of it. Alright, the Wuling fighters are all over there, which means... Are they all over here? There were 3 of them. Yeah, the Wuling fighters are all over there, which means the heroes are going to be all over here. And all all those busted dudes need to stay in here so they don't rout and make people upset. They're just gonna get in that way, right? Yeah. If we park here, and then we can fight on this front. Spears here. Because here we have the rare good engagement. Because they're really far afield there. I guess they're trying to... Yeah, because they come in this way, that's fine, and then we'll meet them this way and we'll realign. But ideally what we do is not get hit by suppressing fire here. No, we're going to get hit by suppressing fire here and then go down to 0 speed. She has 100? She has 100? She has 100 speed. I don't know what's up with her. Oh, the black horse is 95. Okay. So she is twice as fast as I got. Good stuff. And these towers cover the approach here. And the fire arrows going through, you know, that's going to hit them in this forest here. We still just need to look over this way. So they go very wide to come in here. That still is going to be a big delay. There we go, and then we just run back here because those dudes have spears. Strategists have light horses, strength champions have heavy horses, civil squads have medium by default. Oh, okay, okay. Say in USNA and Europe, playing games like tradition passed down from one generation to another, in India, and time you game your February corn parents. Well, you know, it may feel that way, but I can assure you, you know, first of all, that's too bad. You know, I love games, and although, like anything that a person focuses on, someone can get too into them at the expense of, you know, other things that maybe they should focus on. You know, I love them, but like I had games whenever I was a kid. You know, like I grew up with a regular Nintendo and stuff, and a Super Nintendo, which. Incidentally, the regular Nintendo, my uncle had Destiny of an Emperor on NES, which is why I learned about the Three Kingdoms era at all in the first place. And so, like, ever since I was like 4 or 5, you know, I've been, you know, on the side of Shu Han, being like, yeah, they're the good guys. Guan Yu's my man, you know. I bought the propaganda hook, line, and sinker. And there we go. They run around that way. But, you know, certainly my parents, although they bought me games and didn't like, they never wanted me to play them as much as I wanted to play them, you know. But I am glad to have you know, had parents that, you know, whether or not they were like super into my interests, that at least some of the time I got to, you know, get what I wanted that way. Cause my dad didn't really play games, but my mom had some that she liked. You know, she liked Zelda and like the earlier Mario games. They both bounced off of the era of 3D a little hard, but I think we're about to lose here. No, because we can. Yeah, rotate here. And then we'll go for the flank there. What's this do? Cripples us. Great.
法军准备，杀！顽强不屈，鼓起勇气。
We're just gonna engage here.
我军士兵正在四散而逃。
Hopefully, when we spin around that way, we'll be able to go. This army, this doesn't need to be here anymore. We can go in here. The thing is when they break this front, it's gonna be very bad indeed. Yeah, we're, this setup was not built for them to crack into it like this. Can we get around the back? If we can, we might be able to get it. Because, yeah, they're about to roll up the front, and then they're going to run over all of these guys. Eesh. Well, you know, hard knock life. Not a whole lot to do about it.
准备好了，片甲不留，上！骑兵上马，冲啊！
Because even here, we're about to try to approach, and then they're just going to hit us with the slings. So our amazing thing would happen. But yeah, they're just gonna roll up. We didn't have enough there. We didn't have nearly enough there.
挺住，在进攻，做好准备，冲啊！尽情厮杀，鼓起勇气，
And Shimoka just going nuts, of course, because Shimoka is like actually a brawler. And all of our guys are kind of bad at fighting. We can go to foot and try to fight them, but probably still lose. All of these guys coming back. At least these arrows are working.
鼓起勇气，
Oh yeah, and then this guy coming in here, and he'll kill everybody.
敌军四散而逃。
Well, you know, and that's how to lose.
骑兵就绪，
He offered us peace a few times, to be fair.
鼓起勇气。 加速前进。
And he's fighting like wheeling sword fighters here, so he needs to get out.
进军，赶快
But yep, not gonna be enough. Not gonna be enough. I was like, maybe we could get a chain route here, but no. I mean, we still might be able to hold it in, right? Maybe. Oh my goodness. That's a bad time to lose track of your dude. Yep, that's a bad time to lose track of your dude. Well, now we're definitely not going to hold it together. Eesh. He was in a very dangerous spot, and we lapsed on the micro, and he got ate alive by about, I don't know, 1,400, 1,500 Nanman units. It's not the kind of thing where you're supposed to forget they're there. That's not... This is like 11 retinues. So, like, not at all the sort of thing you're supposed to forget is there. Anyway, game over. Nah, I mean, I needed to end anyway. Ending on a massive loss because I'm terrible is, at this point, good. Good. I don't know... Yeah, I'm going to keep trying to play with the rebalance. The more I play, though, the more it seems that I'm going to have to abandon it. I don't see myself actually learning anything from any of my mistakes.
我军士卒仓皇逃命，真乃丧家之犬。片甲不留。
This game over during horse will make you slower, and this is do not tie to the horse category completely. So they're always like, okay, they just stay like themselves but get a little better. Because yeah, in the base game I would often like, I'm like, oh, they get slower and gain mass, but I'm like, I'm just gonna stay on the fast one. But yeah, poor performance indeed. The flank didn't work. We came over here and the cavalry got eaten alive. He came in and died. We might have been better off not attempting the flank at all, but I think losing was a foregone conclusion here, and that there's nothing that I could do to win. Like, a different player, like someone who's good, could certainly have won this, or probably have won it, but I think this was just too much heat for a player of my incredibly low quality to be able to win. Doesn't make much army. Sorry, there should be a general for morale. Yeah, you know, you want a general around, but I was afraid to have a general over here because they had units that are really good at killing generals, but apparently all of their units are good at killing generals. You know, they're all better than my units are. So how could we actually win in this campaign? We would need somebody that gets unbreakable, and then we would hide all of our people away, and then we would get that unbreakable guy and mend him for 30 minutes straight while he fights things, because only dismounted heroes can do anything. No, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with losing a campaign. You're just not used to it if you play Total War because you always win. Maybe I should turn it down to easy. Maybe I should turn it down to easy. Because you would think this would be like an eminently winnable battle. You're fighting against an enemy, you've got your towers, you've got your lanes, and instead they just completely delete me. And they had... yeah. They still have more than half of their troops left. Well, a very human performance indeed. Think of it as good and exhausted because COC is very fun. True. Yeah. And after all, I can just turn off the overhaul anytime I want to actually have a campaign that gets beyond one commandery. Because otherwise I feel like if I spend 50 turns, I might be able to win 1 or 2 battles. Which... historically is fine. Like, it's not bad that I can't take over stuff. It just is not how the game used to feel. You know, I used to be able to set out objectives and look at an enemy army and say, I can beat them. And now, I never can beat them. And I never can achieve my objectives. I can never do what I set out to do. Which is fine. It is interesting. It just requires an entire, like, psychological redirection from the normal way I approach a Total War campaign, which is, what am I going to do 100 turns from now? How am I building up things? What's it look like strategically? And not, how am I going to feel happy when I lose on turn 30? To be fair, I haven't lost entirely. I mean, I have to go to work anyway, right? And I guess, you know, I wasn't giving him enough credit either. This thing still does 2.3k, you know. That thing's barely less strong than it used to be. I think it's, what, 3.3 and without the rebalance on it? So, I mean, he's still an absolute beater. It swings at 15 now rather than the higher one. Okay, now I get it, yeah. Because in the base mod, or make them unique or whatever, I think it's like, what, 20 or whatever. So there you go. It probably goes in there. But yeah. His bow is, of course, terrible, like all bows are. Just, like, genuinely god-awful. Don't understand the point. I actually think that a bound bow makes a character worse than not having a bound bow does now. Unless it has, like, some ability on it that makes it relevant. But here... you know, you shoot 30 times, you know, if you shoot for 7 minutes straight, you might do 10k damage. It's very, very bad. It fires 3 arrows? Well, I didn't know that. Okay, well that makes more sense. Like, every bow I see, I'm just like, that bow's not good. That bow can't do anything. Taishitzi's bow. Taishitzi, talk about me judging a man. I'm going to talk about this for the rest of my life. Taishitzi can't beat an old man strategist in a duel. And that was when I decided that I was never going to understand this mod at all. But anyway, I gotta go to work. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I really like this faction. I think this mechanic is a bit of brilliance, although the rebalancing of numbers and stuff and the way they interact with immediate payoffs might need some tweaking. But as an abstraction, this level of tweaking of my power is great. Even with all the power-ups on, I'm still gonna lose. So, so it's not like any of this would ever make me too strong. You could give all of my troops twice as many stats as they have, and I guarantee you I still lose almost every battle that I lose. The auto-resolve would be the only thing that I could do. Oh, me. I mean, it's fun. It's fun losing over and over. I just need to adapt the way that I'm daydreaming, right? Because normally I daydream and I'm like, oh yeah, we'll go in there and then we'll take the land, we'll level that one up to 5, we'll get some cool heroes, they'll actually do something when I tell them to, and we just got to abandon that daydream. The daydream for this has to be, we're going to take one place and then we're going to play there until we lose, because I literally can't do anything else. Which is fine, like with the Liu Chong campaign, you know? We took one place, we built up there for like 7 years, and then we had one fight against Yuan Shu that we almost lost, and that we would have lost the campaign off the back of if we kept on going. Interesting stuff. It's just, you know, this is not a way for me to win the game anymore. I'll never win the game again. That's okay. That's okay. I just need to stop daydreaming about becoming Emperor of China, when all I'm ever going to do is be maybe a marquis. Make short videos using memes in your gameplay. Unlikely. I have never actually edited a video in my life, and I am unlikely to start soon. Also, I hate shorts just like functionally. I know they're an important way to reach people or whatever, but I literally don't care. I have this add-on plugin for my browser that blocks shorts entirely on YouTube. YouTube hates it and constantly is telling me that these various add-ons are like spyware. Even if they are, can it be worse than seeing a short? Not to me, it can't. But anyway, I gotta go to work. I wish I could keep on getting tuned up by Shamoka all day, but I have got to go. Glad we got to take a look at it. And yeah, a very human performance indeed. Excited to see what the unique units for this faction end up being. Very, very excited to play them one day and then lose forever, I guess. Good night, everyone who's on the other side of the world. Good afternoon to everyone on this side of it. And, you know, to people in space, close your eyes and it's nighttime. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And maybe I'll see you in a later stream or video. Bye, Roman. Bye, Rowan. See ya, Ironic. Later, Luke. Good to hang out with all y'all this morning. So much of a fun time here. 3 hours in. Got to see some things. Got to see a tiny bit of the world. And basically be a huge failure. But that's all right. All right. Did we... Oh, no. Those are... channeling, but you know, yeah, I'm sure they work. Anyway, better luck next time. I mean, doubt it. I think if you just gave me the Brothers of the Peach Garden and an Imperial army, I would still lose these fights. That's what I think. I don't think that there's any amount of strength you can give me in this game to make me a good player. USA? Yeah, I'm from the USA. I live in a state called Arkansas that is one of the least populous and least prestigious places to be from, where everybody talks just like me. I'm just kidding. I could have a Southern accent if I chose to. I don't wear it around very often. If I'm like talking to someone I don't know very well, I'd like a fish fry, perhaps to make them more comfortable, I will throw on the regional dialect, but by preference, I don't engage in it. Arkansas, it's a very French word. It's a very French place to be from, Arkansas. The S is silent, but not the first S. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Time to get on with my day. I'll probably be around tonight. I don't know if we'll play 3K. Might not have time to chew on anything after work. I might just play something else, but maybe I'll see you guys there. See ya.